Welcome to Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. I'm your host, Carol Clark, and today we are talking about measuring success for added motivation. Sounds simple, I know, but I get kind of giddy. Right now, it's the beginning of a new month. It always feels like a fresh beginning. We're almost starting a new quarter toward the end of the year, and so it's a time where measurement is really very important. And so around this time, I start getting sent some KPIs or key performance indicators for a lot of the practices that I work with, because we've got to measure what matters, measure what you want to improve upon. And I get so excited seeing the progress, because sometimes when you're in it day to day, you don't really feel all the time that progress. You don't see it as readily because you're dealing with all the day-to-day operations. But that time at the end of the month, I like to make sure everyone has a deadline that no later than the 10th of the following month are all the monthly reports created and shared with the practice administrator who's usually creating those, and also any of the owners, that sort of thing. And I get to see them as well. And so I love seeing progress, such as in whatever area, whether it is adding new patients for your medical weight loss program, seeing your total number of surgeries increasing and going higher, seeing the number of self-pay surgeries going up. It might also just be your revenue sales that's continuing to trend upward. It could be anything like that, new referrals coming in, and more reviews that you see online, more testimonials, an increase in the engagement in all of your posts. So these are things that we will typically be tracking. And so I encourage you, if you're not already in your practice, to make sure that you are tracking this. You can make it so simple. Just use an Excel spreadsheet, and you can just take the top things that you're measuring, and you want to make sure they are on there. I like to make sure that I'm tracking a lot of different things. I've got a whole list of those. If you're interested, reach out to me, and I'd be happy to share that with you, some of the KPIs that you would need to have. It's also a good time to look at the KPIs you have for your team. Perhaps it's a total number of visits that one of your physician extenders is completing. Perhaps it's a total number of new jumpstart programs, or 21-day programs, or lipo-B injections, or, like I say, we mentioned surgeries and all the big ticket items that you're doing in your main the main thrust of your practice. But there's lots of different revenue streams that need to be measured as well. So we look at those, and then it's a matter of hopefully getting motivated by the fact that you're seeing it's improving. If not, then it gives us a really good start for what do we need to do in order to change that number. Is it the messaging that's going on? Is it the program itself? Is it something that's going on in your particular area? We're all having different stresses because of the economy right now, that sort of thing. Do we need to tweak things a little bit differently? Do we need to move things a little more convenient? Have you been doing things the same way all for a long period of time, and it just needs a little bit of new energy? Are you even sharing it with people in the first place so that they can find out about you and you're not the best kept secret? So there's so many things, but those numbers really do share where to focus your efforts. So when you see them trending up, you know you're doing the right thing. You need to stick with it. And when you see things aren't necessarily the way that you want them, then it's a matter of diving into those numbers and figuring out what do you want to do from here in order to improve them, or perhaps there's something else we need to focus on. And always making sure you give something enough period of a time to see that improvement. But I love getting the first of the month, getting numbers from the different practices and seeing the progress that they're having, celebrating their wins and all of their hard work, and any of the strategies that we've decided to put into place, seeing how those are playing out. Literally, there are some practices that have had zero retail sales. They've gone to 5, 10, 15, 30. I've got some practices that are getting close to 80 to 90K gross revenue a month in retail sales alone, let alone their medical or surgical weight loss. Self-pay is another big thing that we've seen going up and on the rise. So I do encourage you to make sure that you've got those goals set, know what it is that you're going to measure that's going to actually matter. Focus on that. Make sure your team knows exactly what your KPIs are and what your goals are, and communicate back to them where you are falling with regards to those goals. They can come up with some of the best ideas. And when they know that you want to improve upon something, they can actually come up with different measures. They'll talk about it more. They'll actually brainstorm together, and it is a beautiful thing. You don't have to carry the burden all yourself. So whether we're working together and we're working to improve that, or whether it's your team, that is something that can really take what it is you want to improve and help ensure that that's exactly what happens. So anyhow, if you're not measuring, I'm sure you are, but make sure you're measuring the right things. Make sure that you are following through and actually not just getting the numbers from a team member who's putting them together, or yourself if that's how that works in your particular practice. Make sure you're analyzing them and then you're communicating back and actually doing something with the numbers. So just a quick reminder as we end another month and are about to begin another quarter shortly, we want to make sure that we're not letting this time just slip by. We want to be making the most of it, especially with the way things are today. So that's what's going to help ensure long-term success. And I've got some new freebies on my website. Go to weightlosspracticebuilder.com/free. I'll have the link in the video as well. There's lots of different tools there to help you move along. We can have just a free meeting together, sort of an opportunity audit, and I love every interaction, and I love seeing the progress. So way to go, all you practices out there and hardworking team members. I'm proud of you, and I'm cheering you on. So talk soon. Thanks.